Hi folks, Florida Man here. If you've already seen my first two Basics of Italy videos, this video picks up where Antipasto left off. Basics of Italy, Primo, is about what to do after you've devoured your first few centers as Italy. The game typically gets a little bit easier from here, if you eliminated one of your primary threats, Turkey or France. Conversely, if you took your first few centers off of Austria, the game might actually get harder, because you might get attacked by a Juggernaut alliance, or at the very least by Turkey and or France, at least one of whom will probably have become much more secure in their territories. Having strong idea of who you should be fighting and who you should be friendly with, and being able to pour your full energy into one front at a time, is particularly important to success as Italy, because as a central power that usually has to attack opponents who are relatively farther away or harder to reach and attack effectively, like France and Turkey, Italy risks losing a lot of momentum if the Italian general is uncertain of who to fight and moves units back and forth across the map. This leads to a lot of Italians never decisively defeating any of their primary opponents, which is usually a sign that the game will end with someone else victorious. If you eliminated Turkey early on, you must choose between attacking France now or going after Austria. Unfortunately, there's no one right answer here. A successful Italy will usually have centers from both Austria and France by the endgame. Usually, I find it wise to make the decision based on who's available to work with you as an ally, and which of the two potential opponents seems like a greater threat. If Russia is available, and interested in making an Austria sandwich, you might want to go that way, and establish yourself as a massive power with significant holdings in the Balkans. If Germany and or England are available to invade France with you, you might want to head in that direction, and establish yourself as the undisputed master of the Mediterranean. The one thing that would make me lean more toward working against Austria rather than France is that Austria is closer to your home centers than France is, and, all other things being equal, if you turn your back on Austria in the mid-game, there's a greater risk of Austria being able to successfully stab you. If you eliminated France early on, the choice is generally between attacking Austria and attacking Turkey next. Although, if France is gone, there's also a not infrequent temptation to go further north and west and attack England. Given those three options, I think it's important to assess the strength of your relationship with Austria, and the strength, or lack thereof, of the Turkish power. If Austria is on its last legs, you will probably want to prop them up as a shield against the probable juggernaut that has reduced it to that state. If Austria is still healthy and friendly, and Turkey is still reasonably strong or at least stable, you may want to go attack England before England can attack you or Germany. Or you may want to head east and eliminate Turkey, because I consistently find that Turkey's interests are more adverse to Italian interests than Austria's interests are, so you don't want Turkey to survive into the mid-game. If Turkey is on its last legs, you have to decide whether you trust Austria to expand east or north, rather than expanding through you. If so, you might be willing to turn your back on Austria to some degree and go after England. If not, you should turn your guns on Austria as soon as possible, so you can eliminate the threat before Austria can completely consolidate the gains from Turkey. Hopefully, Russia will help you, but even if Russia doesn't seem like a likely ally, just attacking Austria with the element of surprise on your side might be enough to take significant ground from them, especially if their troops had been committed elsewhere. It's worth noting that no matter what path you had set out on at this point, the end goal is the same. Austria, Turkey, and France each need to lose a significant number of centers to Italy in order for Italy to win the game. Italy can win while only eliminating 2 out of the 3, but I find it very unusual for Italy to win without having attacked all 3 at one point or another. For that reason, you should have been continuously cultivating your relationships with your natural allies against these powers, Germany and Russia, and to a lesser extent England. And you should have a really good read on their respective priorities, personalities, and willingness to work with you. You should be working behind the scenes to make sure Austria doesn't grow too much, that Turkey doesn't grow at all, and that France is at war with one or both of the Western powers at all times until you're ready to fight or defend against them. If you can't keep yourself from getting into a two-front war early on, your already difficult path to victory becomes a lot harder. One good way to keep yourself from being surprised by an attack from France or Austria before you get to the point where you're the most stable is to form a central triple alliance in the early part of the game. Bringing Germany into an alliance with you and Austria will help keep Austria honest by suggesting the possibility of consequences if Austria stabs you. Germany can also keep France occupied early on, and Germany can ultimately help you defeat both France and Austria in whatever order you and Germany arrange. It's usually more difficult for Austria and Germany to work together against Italy than for Italy and Germany to work together against Austria, so there's very little downside for you in keeping Germany close or involving Germany in an Austrian-Italian alliance. The only trouble is convincing Germany that Italian interests are strongly connected with German interests. In my experience, many German players will see the Central Triple as pointless. Interestingly, in the middle to late game, if Italy is fighting France, Austria, or England, Germany will be a logical ally in any case. For this reason, and because Italy and Germany are geographically quite ill-positioned to attack each other throughout the early to middle game, I would say these two countries are natural allies. At the least, it would be hard to deny that they have very naturally compatible interests and a good deal of difficulty in efficiently attacking each other. When Germany and Italy fight, if the players are both skillful, it's usually in the middle to late game. For these reasons, the relationship with Germany is the most important for Italy to cultivate in the middle game, and probably the second most important to cultivate in the early game after the relationship with Austria. In the next video, I'll get into what to do after you've defeated two great powers as Italy. I hope you liked this video, and if so, I hope you'll like, subscribe, and check out more of my channel's content. Comment below with your most successful Italian strategies, and I'll respond with my opinions on them. And until next time, Florida Man, out.